Two questions. One, if you are dating someone for, let's say, 6 months, and you woke up one morning, it's like, holy shit, his love really is consistent. I mean, he's good to me. He owns his shit. When he makes mistakes, he holds me accountable. He's always there. He's loving. He's kind, and so forth. Would you believe after 6 months that he loved you? Now, fast forward. Same question, but you're about a year and a half in, and you're driving to the grocery store one day, and you have the realization, holy shit, his love is consistent, or her love is consistent, and she's always there for me, and she supports me, but she gives a shit about my feelings. She holds me accountable, challenges me to sort of be a better man. It's like, would you believe, after a year and a half of that consistent love, would you believe that she loves you? Now, same question, accelerate 4 years or 8 years. You're 8 years in, and you're picking your nose one day, and you're like, God dang, he really does love me, or she really does love me. They're constantly consistent, and they come through, and they're there for me, and they own their shit. Would you believe that that person loves you? If you had an 8-year or a 4-year pattern of behavior, would you believe that that person loves you? Probably yes, right? Now, they're going to be the naysayers, and they're going to be the fucking people say, well, there's this exception with da-da-da people. Fucking lighten up and stay on point, all right? So if after 2 years or 4 years or 8 years, you have this consistent pattern of behavior and it causes you to believe that they actually love you, then why the fuck is it that in this relationship, in this other relationship that you have in your life, whether it's a sibling, whether it's a lover, whether it's a husband or a wife or a parent or your adult child or a friend or a boss or a subordinate, why is it that when you have a 2-year or a 4-year or an 8-year or a 14-year pattern of behavior of them treating you unlovingly, you don't believe it? Why is it that you don't believe the patterns of behavior that are being exhibited by the people in your life? Let's just say it's a parent, that you have a 40-year pattern of behavior. You're 40 years old and you have a parent who has always been self-centered, or it's always been about their needs, their stories, their wants from you and what they get. Or let's say you've been in a marriage for 15 years and you keep hoping they'll change. But shit, this has been going on for 15 years. You have a 15-year pattern of behavior of him being a total jerk. Why don't you believe the patterns of behavior that are right in front of you? You keep wanting to believe that the pattern of behavior is going to change. Yet when we were talking about love, you believe the pattern of behavior in a year and a half, 4 years, 8 years. Is it possible that the reason you don't want to believe the patterns of behavior that are sitting right in front of you is because you're terrified? Terrified of ending it, terrified of being alone, terrified of walking away from this old friend that you've known for 30 years. Could it be that there's some deep fear inside of you that if I'm alone, then all those voices of all the shit that was said about me in my past, all those voices come rising up? Or I'm terrified of what people will say if I walk away from my husband. Or I'm terrified of what will happen with me financially if I walk away from this job where it's just so abusive from my coworkers. Could it be that your fears are causing you to not want to see the obvious patterns of behavior in your life? So who is it in your life that is exhibiting a very clear pattern of behavior that you don't want to see? Have a kick-ass day.